A'udhu Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, today we are going to read one more lesson from the class 8th English book. Today I have chosen a poem number 3 from your book, and this poem is The Bengal Sailors, which is written by Sarojini Naidu. तो भाई बच्चा, आपको पता होगा कि बैंगल्स किन को कहते हैं, पता है आपको? अगर पता भी नहीं होगा तो मैं आपको दिखाऊंगा। मैंने यहाँ पे कुछ बैंगल्स लाए हैं, ये हैं यहाँ, इसके साथ और भी यहाँ रखे हैं मैंने, आप देख सकते हैं बैंगल्स। और अब आपको समझ आया होगा कि ये बैंगल्स क्या है, कौन सी चीज़ है और कौन इनको पहनते हैं, क्यों पहनते हैं, ये भी आपको समझ आया होगा। तो अगर हम कहें तो बैंगल्स को हम चूड़ियाँ कहते हैं, जो औरतें पहनती हैं, उनका एक शौक होता है। लेकिन इस पोएम में जो सरोजिनी नायडू ने ये पोएम लिखी है, यहाँ सिर्फ औरतों का शौक ही जाहिर नहीं होता है, बल्कि इन चूड़ियों के पहनने से, इन बैंगल्स के पहनने से, अगर गलत ना हो तो मैं आपको कहूँ कि औरत की उम्र का भी पता चलता है, कि औरत के जो डिफरेंट स्टेजेस होते हैं अपनी ज़िंदगी के, तो इन चूड़ियों से भी पता चल सकता है। So before coming to the poem, I may tell you about Sarojini Naidu. Sarojini Naidu was an Indian political and social activist. She was born in 1879 and she took part in the Indian national movement, the struggle against the colonialism, against the Britishers, for freeing his motherland from their clutches. She always advocated for the civil rights of Indians and particularly for the rights of women. इंसान हुकूक के अलमबरदार थी वो, उन्होंने औरतों के हुकूक के बारे में लड़ा है, और इसके अलावा वो एक शायरा भी थी, पोइटेस. She wrote many poems, but in English. She died in 1949 after India got its freedom. She was also given the title of Nightingale of India. And one more thing about her. She was the first Indian woman president of Indian National Congress. About her, you might know about her from your history teacher. So let's come to our topic, the Bengal Sailors. Here I have got the book in my hands, the Bengal Sailors. In this poem, the Bengal Sailors, Sarojini Naidu describes the life of Indian women, the customs, the traditions they take part in. And the poet used the theme of Bengals, which is an important ornament. Bengals is an important ornament for the Indian woman, for which they cannot compromise at any cost. They decorate themselves with this ornament and other such ornaments. The setting of the poem is at a temple fair, where the Bengal sailors call out to have a look at their bangles, buy them for their daughters, for their wives, for their mothers, etc. And I have also got some bangles. These are not for the sale, but just to show you the type, the structure, the colors, differently colored bangles which women like to wear. This poem is divided into 4 stanzas, or I can say that in 4 parts. Bangle sellers who bear our shining lords to temple fair, who will buy these delicate, bright, rainbow-tinted circles of light, lustrous tokens of radiant wives for happy daughters and happy wives. In this first stanza, the bangle sellers are introduced at the start of the poem. In this stanza, they are introduced. They are present at the temple fair to make a trade for their bangles. These bangles express the qualities of their product they are having with them, and they are ready to sell to their customers or to the buyers, and they qualify these bangles by using adjectives. Or Sarojini Naidu here we can say has used many adjectives to show the qualities of the bangles these bangle sellers are having with them. These sellers express the qualities of their product by using the adjectives like delicate. These are delicate, bright. Delicate means tender, which are soft. Bright means shining. Rainbow tinted circles of light. Rainbow tinted means you know the rainbow, what rainbow is, the colors of the rainbow. Similarly, Sarojini Naidu says that these bangles or these bangle sellers say that these bangles are of different colors. Rainbow tinted circles of light means these bangles are of different colors. Delicate, bright, rainbow tinted circles of light, lustrous tokens of radiant wives for happy daughters and happy wives. They urge the onlookers, they urge the people who are in the fair to buy them for their daughters, for their wives, for their mothers. The sellers are represented in one voice to emphasize that they all have the same goal and purpose. The words lustrous tokens of radiant lives give a peek into the Indian culture, or give a peek to the women of the Indian society, the culture in which she lives, and the significance that bangles are associated with, like happiness, prosperity, etc. In the second stanza, जो दूसरा हिस्सा है इस पोएम का, इस नज़म का, उसमें क्या कहते हैं ये बैंगल सेलर्स, चूड़ियाँ बेचने वाले? Some are meet for a maiden's wrist, silver and blue as the mountain mist. Some are flashed like the birds that dream on the tranquil brow of woodland stream. Some are aglow with the bloom that cleaves to the limpid glory of newborn leaves. In this stanza, that is the second stanza of the poem, and the bangle seller showcases different kinds of bangles having with them. Some of these bangles are for young, and some are for the middle-aged woman, some are for the married woman, some are for the unmarried woman. In this second stanza, the sellers have some of the bangles for young and unmarried women, which he has written as maiden's wrist. रिस्ट मीन्स दिस, कलाई जहाँ पर चूड़ियाँ पहनते हैं, और मैडन उसको कहते हैं जिसकी भी शादी नहीं हुई हो, दैट इज अनमैरिड वोमेन. These bangles are colored in silver and blue, resembling the mountain mist. Others are pink and light red in color, to tender like the flowering buds blossoming near a mountain or a woodland stream. Woodland means in the forest where a little nala or a stream, जो नदी वहाँ से बहती है, उसको कहते हैं जहाँ पुरसुकून जिंदगी होती है, खुशी मिलती है वहाँ पे बैठने से. And there are also some green colored bangles glowing fresh and pure like newborn leaves. As we know, when the spring season starts, the trees which are full of these newborn leaves, new leaves or new buds, and they give a happiness to one's mind, to one's soul. And similarly, when these unmarried women, as per Sarojini Naidu or as per the bangle sellers, when these unmarried women wear these bangles of these colors, the green, the pink, and they feel happy, they feel much excited. This represents the fact that in Indian society, different colored bangles are worn by women in different stages of their lives. This stanza depicts the youthful stage. That means the second stanza depicts the youthful stage of the Indian woman. In the third stanza, the stanza is, some are like fields of sunlit corn, meet for a bride on her bridal morn. Some like the flame of her marriage fire, or rich with the blue of her, with the hue of her heart's desire, tinkling luminous, tender and clear like her bridal laughter and bridal tear. In this stanza, the sellers point the bangles colored in like fields of corn. You know the corn? Fields of corn. They are fit for a grown woman on her bridal morning, on her after getting married. Other bangles are bright red, just like the flames of marriage fire, depicting here, this is about the Hindu bridal ceremony where fire is used in the marriages. The red bangles indicate her heart's desire and passion for her new life as a bride and as a wife. They are described as tinkling, luminous, tender and clear. Tinkling, luminous. Luminous means shining, bright. Tinkling means gives that sweet sound like this. Tinkling, luminous. Tinkling means giving that sweet voice or music-like sound when these brides wear these bangles, different colors of bangles, and in very huge or large number. These bangles compare the marriage flame to a bride's deepest desire. The usage of bridal laughter and bridal tears represent both the excitement of an Indian woman, of an Indian girl of getting married, and also the grief of her separation from her parents, from her relatives, from her home. It also points the transition or shift phase of a woman from her maiden daughter stage to a married wife. In the next stanza, that is stanza 4, some are purple and gold flecked grey, for she who has journeyed their life midway, whose hands have cherished, whose love has blessed, and cradled fair sons on her faithful breast, and serves her household in fruitful pride, and worships the gods at her husband's side. In this stanza, this is the final stanza, or also we can say it is the final stage of an Indian woman, and she wears at this stage, she wears a different color of bangles, that is gold flecked grey, purple and gold flecked grey. Gold flecked means those bangles having the gold spots in that bangle. For she who has journeyed through life midway, these bangles are for that woman. She is married, she has got now children, she has cherished her children and raised the children and her family. These women have fulfilled their household duties with pride and commitment, and showed devotion to their God with sincerity. Alongside their husbands, they are now praying the God for a peaceful life, for herself, for her family, for her children. One more thing in this poem, the poetess has mentioned here a word, she has mentioned the word sons here instead of children, and cradled fair sons on her faithful breast. Why she has mentioned the word sons here? This shows the desire of the Indian people, of the Indian society. This shows the preference of these people for the male child. This poem is also a tribute to an Indian woman, her beauty and her grace. It also acknowledges the role that is played by the bangle sellers to enrich the Indian culture, to enrich the Indian traditions. This was all about today's class. I hope you might have understood the class very well. So before leaving, I may say one thing about today's situation we are facing. We must follow the guidances or the guidelines of the government, of the administration properly. This is the only way to tackle this problem, to tackle this situation. So for that we must remain our homes, and also ask our families, our parents, our nears and dears to stay in their homes, to break the chain and to make our society virus-free society. Thanks for bearing me here, for watching me. Have a nice day. Thanks.